The following Zoom conversations were all filmed before April 15th, 2021.
Previously on the Chart Tangent Report.
Cardi ain't Doja. Doja ain't Megan. Megan ain't Sweetie.
We are living in a very pro-woman, pro-feminist time. And because we are in the year of the woman, where we have Megan, we have Cardi.
But the Doja Cat pairing, she's smart. She knew what she was doing with that. And that's why it's doing what it's doing. So
I wanted to say, in the January episode, and we don't have it for this episode, there is the Sorry for the Snub Award, where panelists were allowed to bring their own nominations that they felt I snubbed. And Sweetie won the Sorry for the Snub Award.
Interesting tidbit. Megan ruled 2020, but we just spent our time talking about Onika. I rest my case.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I think we're fleshing out the good and bad. There was really just
fight for Megan, Kyle. Go ahead.
Knew what Megan had to offer in 2020. We didn't have to go through it. We know. Come on now, she killed it.
Your Davey moment, because you're right. There was a lot of conversation about it. I was surprised to get nominated here only because I think a similar conversation could be had about good news.
I mean, this is the right moment for her. Like, this is on point moment for her. Like, we've been conscious of her, we've been knowing about her, and now they're doing it. But there is a certain artist who was nominated later in the show who, they are up there, but it's kind of like they got rushed into everything.
Larissa should decide then, since she got knocked out. Maybe she could decide between
Right?
Megan.
It's Megan and
yes, for the number 7 spot, and Rihanna.
I'm gonna go Megan.
Looking at the charts and what they say.
Fair warning. You're about to witness the agenda.
But that Southside forever had me
Welcome to the Chart Tangent Report, a virtual video game and world where music journalists and industry influencers debate and award the best artists of the mainstream charts. In the span of 6 months, the panelists discuss the hot girl who continues to keep the critics talking.
This is the thing about the Chart Tangent Report. These categories, and everyone gets a shot for the crown. It's call me awards committees. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so I am going to start with Demisha, who is going to argue for 34 plus 35 for Song of January.
So Ariana Grande's 34 plus 35 up for January Song of the Year. January Song of the Month. Excuse me, it's been a long week. I believe she totally deserves that category because not only was the song a hit on its own, she was able to get 2 of the rap girls together for an extraordinary remix. She was joined by Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat to take the song to another level. It's not, as far as remixes go, that innovative. They did just add their verses to her already laid track, but their verses did add a level of spice and sultriness that the song was kind of missing. The video comes out this weekend. I'm looking forward to see how each of the girls puts their personalities on the forefront and continues to bring this song to life.
In terms of Ariana Grande's 34 plus 35, I just want to say that it is one of my least favorite songs from Positions. And it always seems to work out like that, that they blow up the most. When Positions first dropped, they were instantly playing 34, 35 everywhere. In all the stores, in the fast food places, wherever, they were playing that song. So it's interesting seeing 34, 35 still be relevant where we can consider it a song for January. And like Demisha said, the remix came out, but we can discuss the remix later in the show. The next category is Pacemaker of January. And Pacemaker of January is someone who was maintaining success throughout the month of January, and the industry kind of followed after it, or they were changing the guard in some ways, or, they were just setting the pace a little bit. All right. And the nominees are Doja Cat for Denisha, Megan Thee Stallion for who had Megan Thee Stallion? Nate.
Doja Cat has steadily built her career for years, and here she is in 2021 coming into her season. Miss Doja Cat is nominated for Best New Artist at the Grammys, and she has put that claim on her back. She has not only delivered guest verses and feature verses on other people's songs such as Chloe and Halle, City Girls, and Ariana Grande, and shown that she's not only talented in performance but talented in lyricism. She has also put her own songs out. And is still riding off of the track list of Hot Pink, but she's been able to kind of use every song off of that album. She's still riding off of Say So, which gives us new life every time she performs it. I'm rooting for the girl to win this award as well as her Grammy nomination. Let's go Doja.
And we now go to Nate, who will be arguing for Megan Thee Stallion.
It's funny. I thought Megan was going to be nominated for a different category.
This is Trending Headliner of the Year. And I describe this category as the artists who found themselves constantly discussed in press and on social media because of their actions and music in 2020. And the nominees are Beyonce for Juwan, Kanye West for Nyanka, Megan Thee Stallion for Kyle, Nicki Minaj for Kia, and Tekashi 6ix9ine for Denisha. This is I should save this one for last, but some of the good categories come up first. You'd be like, whoa, who? Okay.
I don't even know if I got to really get into it. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion owned 2020 point blank period. Whether it was the release of the Sugar EP, that Burst Savage, Captain Hook, then we got Savage Remix, we got Good News, we got Body. That's just musically. Obviously, there was the situation with Tory Lanez that I still think she handled incredibly well under all that public pressure. She came out of it, honestly, better, I would say. I think, her fans really stayed by her side. She was trending throughout the entire year. People were rooting for her, and she delivered for them. She got her 4 Grammy noms, Best New Artist and Record of the Year. Megan Thee Stallion owned 2020, and I even mentioned WAP. I forgot about WAP. I mean, she had those congressmen all in a tizzy about it, along with Cardi. So Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, I didn't really know what else there is to say. That is it. She was 2020, point blank period.
But she was still talked about. She was still...
she was trending all the time.
I mean, people were talking about she make up with Cardi. People talking about she was trending. Yeah, it was a year for her.
Just interesting tidbit. Megan ruled 2020, but we just spent our time talking about Onika. I rest my case.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I think we're fleshing out the good and bad. There was really just
fight for Megan, Kyle. Go ahead.
What Megan had to offer in 2020. We didn't have to go through it. We know. Come on now. She killed it. That didn't have to have a discussion. Nikki, we had to have a more nuanced discussion.
Meg killed it, but her album was subpar.
But that's not the category. The category is...
What is the category? What's the category?
Trending... What is it? Trending Artist of the Year? Not Album of the Year. That's what
Trending Headliner of the Year.
I would bat... I love B, but I would... And Black is King was a gift. It did come with its critiques and issues, but I would probably go up for Megan more than I would for B. Just because this girl was on every damn magazine. She literally went from Tina Snow to Vogue and
GQ covers.
What the hell? It just happened so fast, and it was just so for a year where a female rapper couldn't go out and do what female rappers do, or we couldn't have the female rap experience. For a newbie,
I think I got 3 Meg covers, honestly. Maybe just 2. She was on Time. She was on GQ. I feel like I got 3 in there because I'll be buying magazines. It might just be 2, but beyond that, she was in a lot of headlines for good and for bad. Hopefully she elevates beyond being the headline girl next year and listen to those Megan Monday raps, but on a song.
we're gonna move to the next hip hop category, which is Best Street Anthem of February's Now. And the nominees are Back in Blood by my dog Pooh Shiesty and Lil Durk. Wants and Needs. Now, this is a Drake song, but I've decided to nominate Little Baby. Lemon Pepper Freestyle, again a Drake song, but I have nominated Rick Ross. Beatbox by Spot'em Gott'em, and Megan Thee Stallion Southside Forever Freestyle.
I'm about to sound so old. Is Beatbox that song that everybody doing?
That Mulatto just did the remix too.
And everyone was doing the little, no, that's the Junebug.
Yeah,
challenge.
That's the Junebug.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
I don't know how to do the Junebug yet. Yes. Money ain't got 'em. Yeah, that's Beatbox. Interesting, because Beatbox is the song right now that all the rappers are remixing. Like, we've gotten a DaBaby remix, we've gotten a Pooh Shiesty remix, and we got a Mulatto remix. And I'm like, who's next? Like, who's gonna take the mic next? So Beatbox is definitely probably the hottest like trending song on this list. And then Southside Forever Freestyle. So remember how I said earlier, there was an artist that was nominated, and it feels like that artist, they're talented, they have the musicality, the public behind them, but they're just rushing her through things so much. And I feel like the majority of people feel that Good News did not at all live up to debut album expectations. But then what ended up happening is Southside Forever Freestyle dropped, and everybody was like, why aren't you doing this on a full album? I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about Southside Forever Freestyle. I mean, I don't think it's charting, but here I consider all the charts. So it was trending. So that is a chart in my opinion. Does anyone have any thoughts about Southside Forever Freestyle?
This the Meg I want. This the Meg I love. This the Meg that I fell in love with when her videos were going viral on Twitter. Before we even knew who she was, before we even knew that she really did music for real, it was just like, yo, who this girl out here rapping like this? It brought me back to Tina Snow, and I'm like, oh shit, like, all right, bet we about to get into it. And it was over like, damn, I want some more. And then you go and listen to Good News, you're like, oh yeah, let me go listen to Megan Thee Stallion, and you just like, because like it was just like you said, it felt like they granted, we all know what happened allegedly, ain't nobody gonna sue my ass, allegedly happened. So it's a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? So I feel like they kind of pushed her, like you said, through. That album was not all the way done. My honest opinion, it was not complete. It felt like you got this on done. All right, bet you got this on done. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's put it all together, And that sort of thing can work if people don't necessarily care about you to the magnitude that we care about her. Like, for her to have such an organic come up, people felt like they were part of it. They were part of her. And then when it came out, it was like, damn, dog, you let us down. Like, it's all right, like it's not horrible. It's not bad. It's just like what we thought you was going to give us was not what, we received. So it's like a disappointment of what you gave. And people can grow all the time, grow more, all of that good stuff. But girl, you just dropped Tina Snow, you just dropped this freestyle. So how the hell you grow and regress in less than a month? Like, get it together now.
I think it's the pitfall of the speed of the industry right now. Like, you got to keep it hot, and you got to keep it like on the tip of people's fingers for you to be making it right now. And I think that might break her. That might break her.
No,
because
definitely.
like the difference between between Meg and her, her been doing it since she was 10. So like we said, now that's an organic, overnight success. So quote unquote, right? But Megan, like we here with her, we on her feet with her. We, you know what I'm saying? So the speed of the industry right now might mess her up. But that Southside Forever had me all day.
No, for real. No, for real, for real. And I think another part of it is because of the label mess that she's in. Like, she had to release music by a certain time before, I don't know if it was before they could stop her from releasing the music. So I get why they did it. It's like, okay, we got this. We're going to try to put it together. We're going to try to get you this, that, and the third, We got SZA. We got City Girls.
New fighter generated. The City Girls.
We got other people I really don't remember now.
New fighter generated. Erica Banks.
Trending headliner of January. And this is the person who is basically dominating social media conversations and media headlines, and talk on the streets and whatever. And remember, dominating social media conversation. So that don't always mean Twitter and Instagram, if you get where I'm going with this category. And the nominees are the City Girls, Erica Banks, trending headliner of January. And who has City Girls?
I do, and I have been stooped once again. I did not think this would be the category.
Oh, you know why. City Girls. City Girls got a few things going on with them that made them trending headliners. So do you need some time? Should we go to somebody else, or you got them?
Please go to someone else, yes.
Okay, I will start off with Erica Banks for Denisha. And congrats, Denisha, on interviewing Erica Banks for Nylon. If you feel like you need to discuss the interview during the rebuttal, please do.
All right.
Because you told me some things, and I was like, okay.
Erica Banks definitely deserves recognition as the top trending artist on social media for the month of January. A TikTok user whose name I cannot think of off the top of my head literally started the TikTok challenge for the Busted Challenge. Literally the first day of the year, and the whole month it kind of went off. People from everybody was doing the Busted Challenge. People who probably didn't even know who Erica Banks was were on TikTok and Instagram and Twitter listening to her song and doing the challenge, really giving her that momentum to get her first chart entry. Busted is now on the streaming charts and on like radio charts, just due to the challenge. And she's definitely capitalizing off of her moment. Whereas some people might find it annoying, she's doing what an artist is supposed to do. She's riding that wave of a successful hit. She's pushing Busted Challenge at the clubs, which is not safe because it's a pandemic, but she's doing it. She has merch. She's posting the video. So she's doing a great job of keeping her momentum. She also just has a release with Yella Beezy. So she's doing her best at keeping that social content and that social chatter up there to keep propelling her in 2021.
And City Girls, Nate, are you ready?
I am. I had to refresh my memory, but we're here. We're here. So the City Girls are all over the map in the last 6 weeks. They went viral for having a packed pandemic concert right here where I reside, Tallahassee, Florida, not too far from where I live. Of course, anytime Lil Uzi comes up, JT is gonna come up. There's always the subtweets between the two of them. The Throat Baby remix definitely opened up a conversation about explicitness for females in rap music that I think could be interesting to talk about in the rebuttal. And then also kind of this ever brewing, kind of unspoken chasm between Nicki Minaj and the City Girls as well, because of the live she did with the cute 12-year-old fan who asked why they don't have a song together. So when I went back to refresh, I think the City Girls definitely have a strong a strong case for this particular category this month.
Just going off the power of TikTok, like Erica Banks, Bust It. Very surprising when that song blew up for me because she was just getting trashed for being Meg's son or alleged son.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, please.
I was going to say, I was only surprised that song blew up because as someone who listens to music by multiple female rappers just to listen, I liked a few songs off of that mixtape or whatever she wants to call it that was on there, and that wasn't one of them. She had like 2 other songs on there that I felt like had the potential to really be breakout moments for her. So I was shocked that this is the one that's kind of making her relevant in mainstream conversations. Because I didn't like, when I first heard the song, I didn't like it. I still don't necessarily like the song. Now that it has the challenge, it does make the song, it gives it that fun element. You have something to do when it comes on. But other than that, there are like 2 other Erica Banks songs that I would have chosen if I could have picked the song for my challenge to make me a trending pop star. There are other songs of hers that I would have selected, especially because the song kind of rides heavily on the sample. The Nelly sample is kind of what drives the hit home. And I won't say I'm over sampling in hip hop because it's one of the like groundworks of hip hop. The cycle just continues. But I'm over artists in hip hop relying on nostalgic factors to sell records. So I kind of don't like that aspect of the song. But other than that, I think it's good for her. I think that the girls need a little competition. I think what she has done with this Bust It challenge is prove not only TikTok's power to make a new hip hop star, but proven that that's what the people should be doing anyway. She's really risen in a way that nobody really expected and proven to be a force that can compete with the likes of Megan Thee Stallion or even Cardi B, who will probably have a TikTok challenge for her latest song. So I think in a way she kind of pointed out how TikTok and other social media is narrowing the playing field and will eventually force her peers to put in that work and step up their game to be beyond more than a TikTok challenge, because right now that is all Erica has for them. And she's still competing with them with just the TikTok challenge. So everybody else is going to have to prove that they have more and not just, give us cute verses and songs. I think she definitely woke up the industry in a way where they weren't prepared.
For Erica, even just for TikTok in general, I think it's really interesting seeing like the different kinds of TikTok songs that we get. So you have one like Busted that was like, just a natural challenge. Like someone put the song viral, the challenge went viral, and it went from there. Then you have, a song like Tootsie Slide that was like made with TikTok in mind, like collaborated with actual TikTokers to make this song what it is. Then you have a song like Savage Love that took a beat that went viral on TikTok first, put it on a Jason Derulo track, and then you had that song go #1. So I think it's really interesting how like artists are just sort of just choosing different lanes to go through with TikTok. I know that was a big conversation on the timeline a couple of days ago about people making TikTok songs or songs for TikTok. And it's like, some songs are just catchy, right? And some songs you just want to just do stuff to. And then there are some songs that like, you pop out with a challenge, like, 4 hours after the song drops, it just feels a little bit forced. And that didn't feel that way for Busted, right? But I think for me, it felt that way a little bit with the Crybaby challenge earlier on. But I'm excited to see where Erica goes from here, honestly. I think, is she our first, like, female rapper to blow up through a TikTok?
Low key, I think she is. Cash Doll could have had one. I think her team dropped the ball there. I heard them was looking for me, here I go. That started to be a challenge. It kind of never picked up steam though.
Like everyone else, I think sort of was making waves.
Yeah, and everybody else was kind of
way before TikTok took their song. So that's cool. But like in the era of like that's the first, I think, is really cool for Erica to have.
I was definitely anti her at first because she did feel like a nice little political 1501 kind of game to kind of antagonize Megan Thee Stallion. And it was like less against her and just more about like, I guess, what she represented. I'm not as anti these days. But I still don't really see longevity for her per se either. It's funny that you didn't like the sample. I actually love the Nelly sample. I'm okay with very obvious sampling if the song is cute. I have always thought that Bust It was a cute song. And I would say that I don't know. I just feel like there's still some Erica has some missing parts to her in the sense of artistry and in potential a little bit for me to see her last more than 2 years. For me, I just really don't see her. Like when you think about the female rappers that are even just like bubbling, I just feel like she is just either missing a spark, missing fan base, missing great songs, if you will. Like I just feel like she doesn't really nail any of the points of why we have a lot of the female rappers we do have today. I feel like she hits some of them, but she doesn't really nail any of them. And that's why I feel like I don't really see it for her past another year or two. So that's kind of where I sit on Erica for now.
Like Erica Banks is interesting. I think, I don't know what their plan is for Erica Banks. I think they're trying to make her appeal to the streets first. Like they're really trying to garner the streets. Like when I look at the Bust It video, like I look like I hear the things that media people are saying about like her kind of not giving everything. Like I wonder if this is going to be like one of those like Swan Cinderella kind of stories. Like they're prepping her for that because I think Erica has a little something that's different in terms of like personality. Like I see the way she interacts on social media. Like she's got it. Like, and I think what makes Bust It hot is okay, anyone could have had that sample, but like the point is you drop it low to Bust It. Like she carried that to me. I think it's cute. Like she carries it. So she shows that she has the potential. It's going to be who is going to foster that, or is it going to be 50 Cent that steals it from Jay Prince and Carl? And then like she really becomes the pop star. And I was going to say that it's interesting because for a while, it did seem like Meg and her are avoiding a feud with each other until people got outraged by Tory Lanez having the Bust It challenge on his quarantine radio. Is quarantine radio still existing? Or he just doing lives now and it's just, oh, Tory on live, let's tune in. Like, I feel like quarantine radio has died down after everything, but it's kind of interesting. I thought they was going to be going at it immediately, but Meg is using the strategy of, I don't think the girl exists. I don't know her, literally. And Erica kind of isn't acknowledging Meg either because she knows what hand that's going to give her. So it's kind of refreshing to see her develop her lane, not having to depend too much on the Meg comparisons. Because usually that's how a lot of the ladies start out. I mean, the queen of hip hop for 10 years started out that way. And then the new queen, she got it too. And it's just interesting. So I don't know. And I want to piggyback for the City Girls, Throat Baby was a surprising viral trend. And that's why I wanted to include the City Girls. Like at the Chart Tangent Report, it is not all negative reporting. We try to be very balanced. And, the JT and Uzi stuff is going on. And, the pandemic concerts is going on. And it's looking crazy. but it's looking crazy. Um, but yeah, Throw Baby is blowing. Like, I'm hearing people in the streets playing Throw Baby in New York. Like, they singing it aloud just randomly, no music supporting them. JT's part is getting rewound on people's iPhones and Androids. Like, I was actually kind of surprised that they had took the momentum of an already viral song and really kind of amplified it for the women and gave like them a perspective. Anyone want to add anything about the City Girls?
I think what's really dope about Throw Baby remix is like, this is the second consecutive like JT verse to like really just latch on for people. Like, we had it with Set Some, but Throw Baby remix, like, so I like FaceTime my friends every night, and there's like not a night that goes by where we don't sing that part at one point during the call. Like, we collectively just have to, because it's just so not good, but it's just catchy. Like, I just really just have to sing it. Like, I literally hear this song everywhere I go on campus. Like, I remember a song that was like that since like Thought Box, where like that song was everywhere on campus. But like this one, oh my gosh. Like, if I had any qualms about like how City on Lock was handled, they really picked up the ball when it came time for like their features and remixes post that album drop. I'm really happy with how that's been going for them, even in spite of pandemic concerts. And you know, the JT like Instagram live with the kid Logan was actually adorable. Like, I think it was a much needed side to JT after like her recent Twitter controversies. So like, it was so cute. She would be, I don't know if she has kids, but she'd be a really good mom. She was like really sweet to him. And the little question like about why you have a song with Nicki, I was like, that's a good question. And she was like, we just don't have one yet. That just is what it is. But yeah, I actually may have to like vote for City Girls low key. Like, they have been killing me.
But you know, she mission accomplished. We talking about her on the Chart Tangent report in January 2021, and she could potentially win this category as we need the final votes. So cheers to Jennifer Lopez. And you guys can send in the votes right now through a DM. There's a tie between the City Girls and Sophie, and I want to bring Sophie to the final countdown, but I think City Girls wins trending headliner of January. Sophie will automatically advance to the final countdown of 7 artists because I do think that she is important, but City Girls had a lot going on. And they had a lot going on so much that it makes me again wonder, how is this all going to pivot into the music? Like, I don't know. Like, and also like I've been revisiting City on Lock. Like, I was just listening to Flued Out with Lil Baby the other day, literally. And I want them to have a good 2021. Like, I'm rooting for the City Girls to have a good 2021. But the City Girls win trending headliner of January.
The album is not memorable. Like, they just pulled and put it together, but it's not memorable, you know? Especially for a debut album. Like, we can still play Invasion of Privacy. You can still play Pink Friday. You can still, hell, this is the 25th year anniversary of Hardcore. You can still put that on and go bar for bar, line for line. So it's just like what we had for her, it just like, it didn't meet.
You think the expectation also, you know how you get hype about something and it, you know, it actually kills what's coming. Let's be honest, we weren't expecting what Cardi B did. Like, we was like, okay, Cardi, And then that shit dropped, and you was like, Cardi, okay, Barty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our expectations were way lower for Cardi than they were for Megan. And I think that might be, you know, part of the problem.
I gotta give it to you. Because a lot of people didn't take Cardi B music in the beginning seriously. I personally love Cheap Ass Weave. That was my song. I personally loved, like, before Forever became this thing, I was rocking with it. I don't know why I loved her music. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I loved it. But just like I think
I did too.
See, and I think we loved it, but we didn't expect, like you say, didn't expect her to do what we did. With Megan, we hear, like you said, we on her feed, we see her, we communicate with you, like the pictures, comment, all that good stuff. When you allegedly got shot, we was riding with you. We still riding with you. And it's just like you said, I think like from the freestyle, from the videos, from all this and all that, from the gangster trail, you know, it just wasn't what the expectations were. And I think it also, the Sugar EP wasn't what it was.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know if you were gonna finish, but I would like to think that after the reception of Good News and people knowing what we want from her, that with this new album, like that's gonna be like the real, like, because I believe she did either tweet or say something like, oh, I'm bringing Tina Snow back or something like that. She should have never went nowhere in the first place. Okay, she should have never went nowhere in the first place. What I think most fans would appreciate would be a good part, maybe like 70% of the Tina Snow, and then, you know, a 25%, 25% of, you know, the hot girl stuff, and put that together, and that'll probably be a lot more of a solid effort than Good News. Because I do agree, Good News is not memorable. It was not memorable, and I think that her team was like, let's capitalize off of this situation that happened to you. You know, everybody's talking about it. It's on the tip of everybody's tongues. It's trending. So let's just do it now, which I don't think was the best idea. But again, I hope that now that she knows what we really want, that she can deliver that. And I think she will, because like the freestyle, like Megan, like no one will ever deny Megan's freestyle abilities, her rap abilities. Like nobody's ever going to deny that. It's just like we need something cohesive. And I think I'd like to say that Tina Snow was probably the last most cohesive body of work. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but in my opinion, Tina Snow is probably the most cohesive body of work that she's done in her catalog so far.
I agree.
Very true.
I made the face I made because that's sad, because Tina Snow was released in 2017 and it's now 2021.
That hunger. It was that hunger. She need that hunger back.
But why is that sad?
Because, like, I mean, we just gave Sweetie and Doja Cat an award for Best Friend. Like, I just feel like she's falling way behind. Like, Tina Snow was a freestyle mixtape project in 2017, and you're regressing. I could go on my whole Megan thing the whole time, but
and in music years, today's music years, dog years, 4 years, that's like 25. And there has to be some of the logic behind put something out. Like I remember when Cardi B, you would think a Grammy-nominated multi-platinum album would give her a longer ride. She dropped that money in the summer because, like, oh, we got to do something. And that's probably is not one of her most memorable songs. When you try to, it's a difference when you fall into the wave, but then when you try to catch it, we know
And I feel awkward when I talk about like pop success in hip hop. Like it's still very taboo, but it's like you hear someone like Charlemagne who is working for iHeartRadio, like he knows that's a part of the game. So it's like, why are you setting Little Baby up for something that he's not really rocking with right now? And maybe his team might switch things up in 2021, but like Lil Baby is like a street hip hop rapper. Like he's a rapper's rapper for today's age, but will that translate well to the level of it where everyone is, because I don't even feel like everyone's following after him either. Like when we consider that kind of argument, like there's a lot of different people that are being pulled from. I feel like Sweetie's being pulled from, even like Megan's being pulled from, like I don't really see too much Little Baby being pulled from, unless I'm just like not into that scene and I'm just missing some people. And that's probably the case because hip hop is so splintered. It's always been that way. But it even seems like if we're talking in terms of like the men, the kingpins, like look at Pop Smoke. Like we just discussed Whoopty for like 10, 15 minutes. Like I think Pop Smoke is leading the charge. Like people are putting Pop Smoke beats over our pop divas and R&B singers. And like, you should do a Pop Smoke type of drill track, Beyonce, or you should like, or Ariana. Like I don't know, man. This is a very interesting conversation that is being brought to the table. And you know, it is that street factor that's pushing Little Baby up there, but I feel like hip hop fans always get disappointed because it's not always the streets that's dictating Little Baby's career now. Like he got a different ball game he has to play, or shall he choose not to? But and that's the other thing too. Like he also doesn't feel too much like an artist to me that is like doing his own thing but making us go, wow, this is about to take over. Like he's been consistently like pacing his stuff and they're dropping, but it's not like, wow, put a Little Baby beat over Olivia Rodrigo's driver's license and turn up. Like, but people are doing that to Pop Smoke. People are adding Megan Thee Stallion to weird remixes that they're making fun of, but she's still there. Like people are doing that with Doja Cat. So I don't know. I think Charlemagne might have to reassess that statement.
I think what's so interesting about this conversation is that with the addition like of streaming to the charts, we're actually seeing like the streets dictate the charts in some sort of way. So you have Lil Baby, you know, have the biggest album of the year, right? Mm-hmm. But that doesn't also really mean that he's leading the charge in a cultural way. When you look at Megan or the Baby or Roddy or even something like that, right? So like, because it's so difficult now when like we're like halfway there in terms of like the streets giving us the answer, but you also need everyone else to give you the other part of the answer as well. So like I can see both sides of the argument, but yeah, I think if anything, you're probably more on the right track. If we're probably really in the era of the Megans, Cardi, Sweeties, and that whole you know, crew. And Doja. Let me not forget Doja. She's the queen pin and all of that. But yeah.
So I wanted to discuss now that we're talking about Doja and Megan, because these are who I think it's really the era of, like point blank period. I think everyone is seeing. The 34-35 remix, just thoughts, whose verse y'all liked better? Did you not care for it?
I like the song. I do wish this is not specifically for that song. I wish more remixes were actually remixes, you know, a brand new, fresh song. I understand why remixes now are just added verses for chart reasons and for streaming reasons. It gives them more energy to go number one versus recording and remastering a whole new song. But it was cute. I definitely think that I like Doja's verse better, but that's not to say Megan's was bad. I just like the way Doja rapped better over this beat. Doja has that ability to make any song sound like hers. That's why I appreciate when she does hop on these tracks. But Megan definitely gave a different sound than I'm used to hearing from her. And I think that they both added a necessary roughness to the song because without I like the original song, but when I listened to it, something was missing, and it was rap verses to me. So they were much needed features, especially for the song to go #1. I hope the video is very cute because they look cute in the teaser pictures. And yeah, I also agree that we're in the era of not just the Megans and Dojas, but like women in general, and not even just in hip hop, just in the music business in general. It's time for women to be the ones across all fronts. And that does include producing, engineering, songwriting, music video producing, like everything. It's our turn. Men can sit back and shut up for like 5 years and nobody would notice because the women are doing such creative things.
I think I was disappointed with the remix musically because of who's involved. Because like I've been following Ariana for a minute and she knows how to rearrange a song for a live performance. So that's not a new concept for her. Megan literally had Savage remix last year. Doja has been reinventing Say So a billion times over. And to have those three minds like just give us a run-of-the-mill remix, I felt kind of slighted because I was like, y'all have shown you're capable of this to like really remake and remix a song. And what we got was what sounded honestly just like Doja's verse from because she was supposed to be on the original song anyway before they decided on Motive. It just sounded like they just took that demo and like extended the beat, put Megan on it and called it a day. And like it did its job. And I get that it is fine, but I think for three ladies who consistently give quality stuff, I would have liked to see make it a little bit more refined. And I also think it would have been nice if they like kept Ariana's like third verse / bridge, like the fast sing rap part to go into the two rap verses or even like do that somewhere. Like I just feel like that was a missed opportunity, but like I get it's probably just not where their priorities were lying. They just wanted to like get the song back up there and it did it. But I feel like this was like a weird example of, people just, or I guess labels prioritizing what will work for the numbers as opposed to like, I don't return to the 34-35 remix. I go back to the original just because it doesn't sound good after a couple of listens. But the video looks bomb and I'm excited to see that because I love all three of them. But 34-35 remix, I would like to see Ariana give me one good remix in her career because I think I've hated pretty much all of them. So hopes up. Maybe album 7 will seal the deal for me.
I actually guessed, like, I have screenshots of me when that teaser image came out. I sent like 4 people like, it's gonna be Megan and Doja. Again, not that that's what I wanted. I really wanted Chloe and Halle. But I just kind of felt, I don't know, something in me told me that it was going to be them. They're both up for Grammy Awards. This is a very high profile song for both of them, even though it might not be the best song. Ariana might be one of the biggest names that each of them has worked with beyond Nicki Minaj and Beyonce. So I don't know, something just told me like, this is about to be Megan and Doja, and there it was. Hopefully she elevates beyond being the headline girl next year and with some of those Megan Monday raps, but on a song.
On an album. I want more than a song. Megan Camp, if you see this video, don't play my girl like that again. Period. Because she got the talent. All right. I rest my case.
I will say, as the moderator, and votes are already coming in.
Yep.
Wow, votes are coming in.
So I think when we're talking about like controversy, or when we're talking about like those who stay in the headlines, every time Kanye tweets, that shit stays in the headlines.
Period.
Every time Nicki comes on Twitter and she's interacting or any type of thing, it stays in the headlines. Like anytime who else was in the category? I'm sorry.
Megan.
Megan, obviously, despite the positive that she's had this year, we know what a big situation that whole Tory Lane shit was, and how that's really kept her in the headlines. And even outside of that, her sexuality, her body, the music she makes. Of course, Tekashi, I didn't even want to speak about the nigga because we know about like the shit that he deals with.
With that being said, Tekashi 69 did not win Trending Headliner of the Year. Congratulations to Body Yaddy 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 Yaddy. Megan Thee Stallion advances to the final countdown.
These are the 7 artists that have made it through. Now, just because they have won an award does not mean that they need to be in the final 7 ranking. If there's any objections, I will give y'all 20 seconds tops to object to anyone and throw in your candidate. Then from there, you guys will each send me your ranking of the top 7 that you feel, and I will try to determine who the 7 are.
Larisha should decide then, since she got knocked out. Maybe she could decide between
Right? It's Megan and
yes, for the number 7 spot, and Rihanna.
I'm gonna go Megan, honestly.
I'm going to give number 6 to Sweetie. Number 5 goes to the City Girls. People gonna look at this list and be like, how are the City Girls ranked above Saweetie and Megan Thee Stallion? But y'all was talking about the City Girls a lot. Period.
Congrats to JT and Tari Shora for being the highest charting female rappers of the Chart Tangent Report's January final countdown. But there's another part to the story about the mainstream Femcees. But until then, get ready for part 1 of the 6 Degrees of Drake. Coming soon.